Hello, everybody, and welcome to my Ascension Messages. My name is Bobbie Richardson, and I will be your guide for today. Today, I am doing some channeling. So, I do this every Thursday. If you are new to my channel, I also produce lots of videos. One's coming up all about the codes hidden in fairy tales. And I do interviews, and I've got classes on Monday. So if you're really keen to join in with the classes, they are $20, and it's just every fortnight, just so that we can start to get a group together that is focusing on the right thing or right things, focusing on creating a beautiful reality for ourselves. And what we see is that lots of lessons come through from my team, which are mainly Pleiadian, Arcturian, straight through to source energy. Gaia herself and elementals come through too, plus others that want to have their say every now and then. We have exercises coming in. All my life, I have seen these entities, these beings. So it's not something that I say is in my mind. This is outside myself. I've had many visitations. I've been prepped for this. So I am your tutor on Mondays if you are keen to come in. Hey, lady. And we have a lovely little family that comes in on the chat bar sometimes as well. Now, wow, today, holy wow. Where do I even start with these energies that are upon us at the moment? If you haven't been feeling them, it might still be coming for you, but there has been some massive energies bombarding the planet at the moment. They're literally sparking off auroras everywhere. It's a huge shift in humanity's consciousness. Those that are doing the work are going to feel this more than those that aren't doing the work, although those that aren't doing the work are still going to feel it in their own way. But the light workers and so forth have really been bombarded at the moment. There's a really interesting and good reason for this. It's not happening for nothing. So it was a week and a half ago. I often get dreams and stuff coming to me that align me with what's happening or what's coming. And I probably should have brought this up over a week and a half ago, and I actually had the dream. But yeah, I didn't. So, and I suppose it's just so that I can bring it up now. But the dream was of this huge cloud that was coming over, and it was just full of water, and it just bucketed down like a massive, just like a bucket being tipped. And all this rain just fell in one big clump. And I thought it was landing on the land, but when I looked, it was landing on the ocean. So this was something that was going to affect our emotional side, our emotions. Things were going to be brought up emotionally for us. And what happened was, because it hit the water, there was these small tsunamis coming, like 3 or 4 of them. They just kept coming. And I'm like, oh no, not tsunamis again. Like, I went through the big tsunami shift way back in jeepers, 2011, 10, that sort of time. And there was literal tsunamis around the world as that reflection. But these were smaller, and they just kept coming at us. Now, the reason, if you've gone through anything that you feel like you've been derailed or whatever, the reason why this is happening is because that dump of water is literally the lifeline, or the blood, or the river of life. And it is wanting those who are doing the work to move into their higher self. So So it's dumped all of this so that we can feel these or see these waves and reflections. So you might have quite a few things coming at you all at once. And it's to really show you where you've been disempowered. It's to really show you where you're not aligned with that reach for your higher self, for your potential, for your where you really want to go in this world, what who you feel, how your mission is, and all of that. They are literally showing us where we're going wrong. And it's not wrong, it's just the blockages. And some of these blockages, especially with light workers, have been held within us from in our DNA from eons ago, from life after life after life. So they're like held in the body. And so to be able to bring them up, we're talking the females not being the females in your family line not being able to do what they wanted to do and be free to be themselves. We're talking all those things that have happened that the masculine side took over. And so it's all kind of been brought up to see where we're not supporting ourselves. And it can come in different ways. Like you'll get hit by one thing and then you think, holy crap, then the next day another thing will come, and then the next day another thing will come. Or it could be stretched over a month for certain people, depending on their level of what they can handle. But it's really necessary at the moment, because if we don't get the alignment to our higher self and the potential of where we really want to go and who we want to be on this planet, grounding our utopia, grounding the magical us into this reality where we're starting to shine with new gifts coming up. If we don't have our self supported in a way that's going to allow us to move through the next so many decades of our life, then it will be fleeting. And so the energies are really pushing us to look at this, like really look at it, use it. And I know it's shaky and I know it's confronting, but it's always comes back to you and where you gave your power away, what you're not supporting in yourself, what you're allowing in your life that's not reflecting who you are, how you're acting in your life that's not reflecting who you truly feel you are. All of those sort of things are going to come up. They keep showing me this river of life, and it's like a journey that our mission is on. And then there's us with a kind of a rock in the middle of it, and we can't get past it. Every time we just pass it and we don't do something about it, the rock shows up again around the corner and around the corner and around the corner. And we're like, man, that rock's there again. Why can't I seem to get traction? Why can't I seem to make my career work? Why can't I seem to make my love life work? Why can't I seem to have the reflection that I really, really, truly desired in my life? Why isn't this happening? And it's purely because you keep going past that, thinking, that's just me, that's just my personality, or something like that, or it's not something to address, or it's too hard to address, or I don't understand it and I don't know how to clear it. The other thing is, in this time, if you aren't going through that and you know you're on a mission and stuff, what I would do, if you feel like your life isn't in alignment with your higher self, is I would personally say, okay, I surrender, show me the path. I'm ready to go through the path. And then you might get these hits of crazy hard, difficult things coming your way, but see it as a stepping stone towards the next, towards you clearing or chipping away at that giant rock that's stuck in the middle of your river of life that you want to flow through nicely. So yeah, if you aren't going through it, this is it. The reason why I'm saying that is because this is the energy at the moment that will help you clear it really quickly. It can be a little, you can be thrown off your game for a little bit, but it's worth it. It's so worth it. Not all and everything is roses. Not everything is roses. And when we're holding on to something that's really stopping us or preventing us to become the magnificent us, we end up just going round and round in circles, and it leaks out anyway. So we end up being confronted by it over and over. But if we use these energies to really look deeply in us as to where we're not supporting ourselves. I literally, in a way, had things happening where I felt like everything was falling away from me. And it was a good thing because it made me realize where I would put my support on the outside of myself and not support who I was on the inner self. And it's not that any of those things have fallen away. It was just like these stories that developed that looked like they were, like my mother's ill and that sort of thing. But then I had to take back my power of becoming the elder of my world, and that sort of thing. So just be aware that the energies at the moment, if you're stuck and you don't feel like you can move any further forward, ask to be shown, let go of the logical mind trying to find a way out of it. And then once you let go, be prepared that it'll be like a tsunami of things might be coming at you, because the energies of wanting to shift, wanting to help you shift and see the light, so to speak. And then turn it back into you and stop pointing the finger outside yourself that it's their blame. And then the understanding will come, and it'll be like this, oh, far out, I get it now. I get how to step into my power more now. And it will take you through. So yeah, doing this work isn't always easy, guys. It's not always easy. And it's okay that, it's okay to be not okay for a little while, but just use it to your advantage. Everything is set up to be used for your advantage, to find your higher self, to find your connection to your magnificence, so that if you can imagine yourself in a frequency where everything is going, say for instance, you've got a fantasy world of the fifth dimension. If you can imagine that you're in that fifth dimension, what you would be like, that's kind of where you're striving to go to. But be aware that when you imagine something in a higher frequency and you're like, oh, wow, I can feel the power of me and all of that, that it's not grounded in this reality. And you'll know it's not grounded because when you start going off on those tangents of imagination, and it's not grounded through the logic, you'll start to see you'll do things wrong in this reality. So say, for instance, you're driving in your car, right? And you start getting that feeling of, oh, wow, I know my magnificence. I see where I'm going. Gosh, that feels good. And then all of a sudden, some car toots at you because you've not been present. This isn't just about grabbing the imagination and being in that. It's about grounding the feeling and becoming magnificent in this life, in this body, in how you speak to others, in your actions. It's grounding it. And the only way that you can ground something so beautiful is to is to be present in this reality, because that is the alignment of energies. That's the alignment. You can't be not present in this reality, or in living in the moment in this reality. You can't be moving through this reality using your logic, trying to grab from the past, project into the future. Oh, I'm going to find a way with only my logic, and then have the imagination up here. Oh, I feel that really good feeling of where I want to go. But it's not grounded through your logic, because your logic hasn't let go enough of the fact that it cannot, it doesn't know all the answers. And so it needs to allow a space, and that space is you presently living in the moment. And then when you're living in the moment and you're completely here, 100%, I'm not thinking about, my partner outside. I'm not thinking about my children asleep. I'm not thinking about what I'm going to do after this. I'm here, present with you. It's the only way that I can connect to my higher self, and I can channel. Yeah. So this is a game of grounding our higher self in this body, on this earth, while we're alive. And it's huge. It's a huge shift. It's not little. So when we have blockages, and we can deny all we like. Oh, no, I've done all the work. It's all fine. I've done all the work. But then you look at yourself and go, well, hang on a sec. If you've done all the work, have you got everything that you asked for, or that you wished for, or that you desired? Have you got it all? Is it around you right here, right now, and you're feeling really calm and present in yourself all through? If you're not, then there's still something to be worked on. And this will be progressive throughout your whole life anyway, but it's not like everything's going to be absolutely perfect. I'm not saying that it is. But what I'm saying is that we are shifting from a very self-absorbing, lower logical way of thinking only, and allowing our soul to come in to help align us with new gifts, new nuances, things that step us outside of the matrix, things that bring us into a world where we have the reins, and we're not looking outside ourselves for somebody else to tell us what to do. Yeah, so it's pretty huge at the moment. Okay, I'll just take a sip of tea and see what else they want to bring through. Hey, Maggie, Debbie, Freezy, Peach from the UK. Okay, let's see what else comes through too. So even though it might feel like you're like the Leaning Tower of Pisa, they're showing that in my head. Even though it might feel like you're the Leaning Tower of Pisa and you're starting to tip over, it's interesting that it's like you're going on a journey going this way, and then when you decide, yes, I'm ready for the next thing to clear so that I can align myself with my dreams and my desires, it'll feel like you're tipping. And then what they're saying is, instead of feeling vulnerable in that tip, that you're going to fall over and you stay there, and it's just they're asking us to move towards the tip so that we actually move from this space to this space. It's interesting. Because we're aligning with a different path that doesn't have the blockage in it, and that's only because we cleared it. So just they keep on saying, don't be afraid to be vulnerable. Don't be afraid to be vulnerable. It's okay to be shaky. It's okay to feel like you're coming a little unstuck, but turn it back on yourself. They keep on bringing that in. it's because, like the energies are so huge. So Gaia herself is also going through this. She's got these, there's these energies coming that are so, these energies coming that are so entangled with humanity's consciousness. If you were an innocent child, a young child, or a animal that's living presently in the moment, it doesn't affect them. They are authentically who they are, and they are just moving through life trusting who they are. But humanity's consciousness, because it was taken into such a very unbalanced reality where it wasn't, it was all to do with looking outside oneself. It wasn't conducive for humans to be standing in their magnificence. Then as she's shifting out, I see what they're saying. When we actually get to physically see outside of us certain things that are happening in our world, things that are coming unstuck, things that are unraveling, or the beauty of the aurora is just, oh my God, look at them all. There's so many of them. Or the fact that there's all these UFO sightings happening. It's because the energies have squiffed us enough to see something beyond what the logic can handle, to shut the logic down enough to allow us to see into something beyond what the logic can handle. That is then bringing an alignment of anything is possible. And then we take our reins, and then we say, well, if anything is possible, then where do I want to go? What do I want to do with this anything is possible? So that's why when you're waking up, you might start seeing, oh my God, everyone's seeing UFOs, or everyone's seeing this, or everyone's starting to wake up, or the auroras are shining and I can see them, or the sun is sending through energies, and there's a spike of energies from solar flares and stuff like that, and they're happening heaps at the moment. That sort of thing. When it comes into your reality, it's because where the game outside of us is so warped and shifting so much, and that can even be to the point of those that are so-called in charge showing their true nature as well, and we're starting to see through it. It's warping it to a point where we have to shift, because we're no longer able to trust what's been shown to us from an outside perspective. And so it not only stops the logic from thinking that it knows it all, but it also opens up a gateway or a door or a path to unlimited possibilities. And then we have to take the reins of what do we actually want in this world and what we're creating in humanity's consciousness. So that's happening at the same time as us clearing, and it's really interesting game at the moment. Okay, the other thing that they're saying, that if it becomes too much for you, come back to your immediate reality where you're at right now, like your family, your immediate family, your immediate house, just focus on beautifying your home, or beautifying your garden, or cooking for your family. Just bring it back into, and go off the social media for a bit. Just bring it back to the reality that is surrounding you for your five senses right here, right now, instead of stretching your reality out to the world through social media. Because if it's too much, bring it back, because then you are in control of, you're at least taking the reins of your immediate reality. And that gives you a feeling of understanding that you can manifest or create the life or the dream life that you want through creating beauty around you and just in your four walls or your little home or whatever it is. Also, you can take these steps through learning how to manifest and that sort of thing. Saying, for instance, your carpet's a bit ratty in the bedroom and you really want a new one, but you don't have the money for it. Visualize and see somebody in your neighborhood going, oh, that carpet, I really want to get a new one for that. And they have the money to do it. So they roll up their carpet and put it outside for somebody for free. And then you come across it. And then you go, wow, I am manifesting my own reality. I am trusting my universe. So we're bringing it back to just the home base rather than feeling like we have to save the whole world or the whole world is too much for you at the moment, because it's the logic's having a bit of trouble to allow that opening for the UFOs or the massive shifts that's happening out in the big wide world. Remember, you're not responsible for anything more than what your reality is. That responsibility was pulled over as an illusion to say that it's almost like those in charge is like saying you're responsible for the whole world, but you have no say in how it goes. You're responsible for everything. You know, you did this, you did that, you did that. So put the guilt on us, right? But we've got the pull of the rules and everything. So we'll tell you how to do all of this. So yeah, they're really bringing that up because we can only really focus on the reality that we're creating from ourselves. And so if you decide not to watch social media or something for a little bit, it kind of brings you back to the normalcy of what you're actually creating and doesn't put too much on your shoulders for trying to be responsible. It helps you release the guilt that's been pulled over your eyes as an illusional guilt. You can't be responsible for for things outside of yourself. You can only be responsible for how you react from the inner core out. Yeah. So, wow. Anyway, there's a whole heap of things happening at the moment. It's pretty full on, guys. Birds remind me to be present. Nice. Yeah, it is huge, Sky. It's a huge shift in consciousness, and it's aligning us with our gifts. It's actually aligning us with thinking, creating more, grounding more of who we truly are, grounding our connection to our soul, which is source energy, God itself, and how I see it, how I experienced it, where anything is possible. But we can't do the anything is possible unless our logic agrees with that anything. So that keeps us safe in the linear fashion of the storyline moving from birth to death. It keeps us safe in that time zone. Time is necessary, but it doesn't exist. It's kind of weird like that. Time is necessary in the logical sense of how things move so that we can have a linear story and we're not like flipping from past to future to all over the show. But time doesn't exist in the true sense of living in the moment. Because there's only one thing that's present. It's right now, it's right now, it's right now, it's right now. That's all that exists. And it's our energy in the moment that aligns us with the next energy in the moment and the next and the next and the next. So then, therefore, time can be stretched and time can be shortened. Really interesting what they're bringing up here now. I actually had this conversation with the elder that I met, where she could literally stop time. She said you have to be careful when you're working with this, because you don't want to infiltrate other people's realities or anything like that. But then that's how she put it. But time, it's an interesting concept. When you're really in an art piece, it's like time just flies really quick, and then you look at the clock and 4 hours has gone past. Now, just because we have a clock that says tick, 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 and it's meant to be every second is meant to be incrementally compartmentalized and perfect, right? It's not how it really works. So when you're in a present moment of stretching time, that click could go slower with you. And so the second goes longer, and you see it as one click. You can experience many things in that one click. And then another click can go over, and it goes really quick. It's because in that moment, you're not experiencing hardly anything in that moment. So it's like, well, that went really quick. You're just focused in on what you're doing. I'm trying to get to where they're going through with this. It's because they want to bring time up as an illusion so that we can understand the feeling of anxiety that we have when we feel like we haven't accomplished enough needs to be released. Because if we keep on moving through with that anxiety, we produce more anxiety in our life, and we don't ever fully get to where we're wanting to be, because the anxiety takes over the desired outcome. So so there's a reason why they're wanting to bring up the fact that time is an illusion. Present moment is the only thing that exists. Us deciding to step into ourselves authentically, free of all fears, brings us into alignment. And they're literally showing me how to shift our step from that leaning tower of Pisa that I brought up before. So there was like this leaning tower of Pisa was tipping over on its side, and instead of just staying there feeling vulnerable and awkward, they asked us to move with it. So we're moving on into a reality that can only be moved through in the present moment. And that means that time falls away. It's only a construct of humanity. There is a program of time where the sun comes up and the moon comes up, and this, we see that physically in our nature. And when we see that physically in our nature, we move through the day. But it's incredible how when you're present, you can skip, we have a concept in our head that we can only move so fast in a car from point A to point B, and that'll take us 1 hour if we go 100 kilometers an hour. So we've got that all compartmentalized, and that becomes our reality. When you work in present moment, it's like that 100 kilometers. When you take that program away and you're not living in the illusion of the time, you could jump from there to there within a shorter space of time, whatever your logic can handle. I know I've even done that before, where I've gone, in my brain, I've gone, there's no way I'm going to get to where I need to go in time. And then I turn around and go, you know what? I am creator of my own reality. I will get there on time. And I start feeling into I will. And then I feel this shift in me. It's like a feeling that happens where I've let go of the illusion of mapping out or compartmentalizing or doing the maths and sticking to that. It's kind of falls away. And then I just have this trust that I don't know how, but I'm going to get there on time. And I do. I get there on time. And even though it seemed like it was impossible when I first started, there's so much more expansiveness that we can move into when we're living in present moment and trusting who we are, that we're aligning ourselves with being in the right place at the right time for the right reasons, all of that. There's just so much more that we can move into. Anyways, holy crap. So yeah, these shifts at the moment, once we've even passed the so-called emotional tsunamis that are coming at us at the moment that we have to clear, but we don't have to do anything that we would want to clear, that we can use to clear. We are going to align with these different gifts, these different understandings of how far we can actually push reality, how much we can actually ground into this reality to be, which would normally be abnormal, to be normal. It's aligning us with our gifts coming. It's aligning us with our gifts coming. It's aligning. That's why we're starting to see more of the UFO agendas and all that sort of stuff. I don't know if that's aligning in your reality or not, or seeing more of something more than what you normally would. I'm going to bring it up as the UFOs because that's easy for me. Seeing more outside the box because, okay, so you know how the saying goes, we only use, let's just call it 10%, it's easier that way. 10% of our brain is awake, 10% of our DNA is awake, and what can we see out in the universe? 10% of the universe, that sort of thing. As we're clearing the program and our guilt, our disempowerments, when we start to support who we are and we see the mission of where we really want to go, we're literally opening up. Everything happens conducively. Everything happens together. So when the mind starts seeing, or the mind starts awakening to more, the DNA awakens to more. We're using more of our DNA in our body, which means the gifts are awakening. And then we start to see outside the compartmentalized, the closed off box of what our logical mind was holding us into, that we are the only ones that exist in the universe. And so our universe, that we will start to see science will even go further out, or and that's why it's going further out, because it's always outside of us as a reflection of our inner self. So it's going to be like this, like explosion of, oh my God, I'm so aligned with who I am, and I love who and support who I am, which aligns you with your DNA awakening, which aligns you with seeing or having more seen outside. But if you're still holding on to the logical program of limitations and fear game, then you are afraid to move forward. But the energies outside of you are still reflecting. It's interesting. It's like this. It's like they're saying, it's like a forced awakening, but you're awakening through fear, and so you end up feeling like monsters are coming at you. It's interesting what they're saying, or feeling like the world is against you, or feeling like it's like the energies because the whole of humanity is awakening in together, it's pushing those that are still holding on to that limited concept of humanity and fear and the fear game. It's still pushing them past their stagnated illusion of what reality is. And so if they do open the box and they're still in that fear, they end up feeling like something's coming at them that's just that they can't handle because they haven't supported who they are before. Yeah, interesting what they're bringing up. Anyways, so what else have we got here? I'll see what's in the chat bar. This channeling's huge. Yeah, but hi to all beautiful people. Hey, Jason. Hey, Mary. Hey, Joy. Good to see you guys. Hey, Will. I don't know what that's about. I think that might be I don't know what that is. Anyways, let's see what else happens through channeling. Anchor. Okay, so they're bringing up that we're anchoring. Okay, the more that we let go of what we thought was our reality, and the more that we're bringing in okay, sorry, I'm just tapping in at the same time. So there's like you on your day-to-day life, you going through your day-to-day life, you wake up in the morning, and hopefully if you have thoughts running around in your head that's not conducive to where you want to go in your reality, you're catching them now. Hopefully you are catching them now and saying, you know what, nah, don't want to listen to that. It's just, my logic doesn't know all the answers. Let's leave this open to suggestion from the universe, or suggestion from my soul, suggestion from a sign outside of myself to show me the next path, instead of trusting my logic, which is only bringing the past up again and again and replaying it over and over in your head, and you just end up feeling really drained. Okay, so that they're bringing up that when we start to clear everything, we start to become, and we're more present in the moment, we start to get more energy as well. So they keep on bringing up an anchor too. So we're anchoring our reality. So yeah, those that have been holding on to the illusion that nothing can move past the limited consciousness of what humanity has experienced in the past, they'll hold on to that reality for as long as they want, but they are not going to. They won't be present in your reality, conducive to the reality that's moving into the moment of expansion. They're asking us to pick something, choose something, like wake up in the morning and choose something that you want to anchor into this life. I'm getting it now. It's taking a wee bit. Okay, so wake up in the morning and imagine what you want to anchor into your life now. Now, it's got to be something that your logical mind can handle. It's not something that's so outside the box that your logic will just go, that's just not going to happen, because it will never ground unless your logic agrees to it. So choose something that your logic can handle. And it can be the most craziest, stupidest thing. It can be that I come across a polka dot pen today. We want to bring in, they want us to ground or anchor in the fact that we are creating our own reality. So anchoring in, probably a good idea to choose something that's going to actually help you in your desired outcome. But they're wanting us to anchor in one. Even if we start off with a week of, I'm going to anchor in this one thing that I really want to see in my life and be present in my life, and it's going to be there for the rest of my life, or for however long that you want it to be in there in your life for. Some sort of material thing, gain, or some sort of tangible thing that is grounded. Say, for instance, even I want to anchor in that a bird flies on my shoulder, or a butterfly comes on my finger, or something like that, that you're working with nature. It could be anything. That doesn't have to be like actual physical, tangible. It can be something but grounded in this reality. And if we work on that and chip away, when we come to a blockage, it will come up as a blockage anyway. See, the blockage is always usually blockages are held by logic taking over. Blockages aren't held in the soul or our intuitive thinking or our imagination. That is vast. It's our logic that holds us into this reality. Yeah, interesting anyway. So maybe work on that a bit. Yeah. We are all starting something brand new here. So be gentle on yourself. Don't be too harsh on, oh, how come she can do that and I can't do that? There's going to be people in your life that are showing you your potential. Everything is a reflection of. So no need to get jealous or worry about someone who is showing you a potential. It's showing you, and if you feel like jealousy is only a statement of your feeling that you should be doing that and you're not, and you aren't, and you feel like you can't, so you've already given your power away to the fact that you can't, but you truly desire to. So in this next level of awareness, there is no jealousy present, because as we all lift our game into our desired outcome, we're literally grounded and living the life that we want, and everyone around us is as well. No one can take away from you and your expansiveness. That's the program pulled over our eyes, because we were taught when we were kids that when we run a race, there's only one winner, and always only one winner, and that's the only person that gets gain. That's not true. You could be running a race and come last and gain way more perspective of your life, gain way more lessons of your life than what the person did that came first. It's not about who's first. It's about what's your soul expanding into? What have you learned about yourself? How far can you take this? And it's your own. You are competing against yourself. So just be aware of that as well. Yeah. Okay. So I think we've got a trolley person here. Hang on, I'll just see. Locked myself out of the house, minor accident, almost sprained my ankle, etc. Me finally getting the message to be mindful. Ha! Isn't that cool, Maggie? I love that. So the energies at the moment are presently teaching you that you are allowed to imagine and be in a a feeling of, wow, the etheric world, but it's all to do with being present in this world that allows that to be grounded in this world. So you will start, it's funny how minor accidents will happen as soon as we start to get too far into the imagination and not have a balance. So sometimes there are those of us who are very logic, and there's those of us that are very intuitive and connected to our soul. Intuitive, connected to your soul means that in the grounded logic side, you look airy-fairy because you keep making mistakes, and people are like, oh gosh, you're still making mistakes, because your head's always in this side and it's still out of balance. If you're too logical and you're not in your connection to your soul and your etheric world, you just keep going around in circles, doing the same thing over, and the same pattern over and over and over again, and you're never really getting any traction, getting anywhere. It's when these two come together in unification and they love and respect each other for what the gifts they have, where the intuitive, imaginative side can literally carve a new path, create new opportunities, bring in new nuances, ignite new neurons in your brain, gift you higher vibrational feelings of feeling beautiful. And then with the logic side of itself saying, I love that. I love what you're trying to ground here. I'll take it and I'm going to ground it into this reality. But you can only do that by being present in this moment as you're moving through your life. If you're not present, if your logical brain is taking over too much, and that's when the past keeps creeping back, or you're scared of what the future is going to be like because of what happened in the past. That sort of thing happens, and you keep going round and round and round in circles. I'm 61 years old. I told myself for decades that I don't know what I want to do in this big picture. Any more messages for me to help crack the deadlock? Okay, so it's even something that did actually literally come up in this channeling before. The energies are conducive at the moment for you. So you're 61 years old. Told yourself for decades you don't know what you want to do in this big picture. Sometimes we've been taking up too much on our shoulders of what the big picture is. Bring it back to you and yours in your world right here, right now, and what you can improve right here, right now in your world. So they're telling me to tell you, beautify one corner of the room. Move towards creating or grounding a beautiful world just around you. That will bleed out anyway. So you'll start to get a hang of where the big picture is going to go when you start to stop focusing on everything being hugely out of control, not in something that you can't take on the big picture if you haven't taken on who you are authentically within yourself and learned to have created the beautiful world that you want to create just here, grounding now. Then the next step will come. Then it will bleed out to others. It's like they're almost saying to me to get you to fill your bottom of your bucket to the desired outcome for what makes you happy in your reality, and then let it bleed out. But I wasn't actually going to read today, but sometimes it's good to just see what other people are doing, and then we'll see where that goes as well. So that's fine. Jason's Pisces, his head's always in the clouds. So your lesson, Jason, is to allow your life grounded in this reality and be present in this reality enough for you to ground what your Piscean head, your in the cloud imagination can bring through and ground. and take something small. Don't need to take something big. Same with flower. Don't be so concerned about the bigger picture. You're enough. You and who you are is absolutely a miracle, absolutely amazing, absolutely fantastical that you are even here. Imagine this, trillions of souls out there that saw this desired opportunity on Gaia, on Mother Earth herself, to be in a body now, right now, through this shift, through this massive awareness of awakening and the lessons that we are learning on how to create our own reality as absolutely phenomenal. And even those that are in the etheric world that are watching us and how we are approaching this, how we're moving through our life, how we're working with these full-on energies, emerging us from being asleep to waking up to our full potential. That in itself is enough. Don't be so hard on yourself that we feel like what's our big picture? Our big picture is that we're actually here and we aligned ourselves with this huge opportunity to expand our soul, to expand our reality, to ground the imagination into and onto Earth. This is huge opportunity just to be here. Take that as the big picture. Take you as being enough. Just being here, it's huge. And that goes for everyone that's alive and kicking, right, on this world. Everyone is, wow, you're magnificent because you chose to be here and you chose to move through all these energies and do this work. And it's not always easy because we're breaking such huge program that was held over humanity's consciousness for eons. So every little nuance a neuron path that you awaken in your mind is expanding humanity's consciousness in a bigger picture. It's huge. Well, that was a powerful one, right? That's why they wanted to bring you flower, to just beautifying something in your space, creating something that you want in your space. You don't realize how much of an impact you're having on humanity's consciousness. Yeah, it's really, really cool. I love it. Anyway, guys, being awoke is not a bad word. No, it's not. Absolutely not. Good morning, Stephen. I'm just about finishing up. Joy, I've been communicating and connected with soul fractals, other beings in me, but still not sure what I'm going through. But I kept seeing the sign preparation. Yeah, well, that's literally what humanity's consciousness is going through. Is we're preparing for grounding an expansive awareness of expansive reality onto this planet by being our authentic self and connecting to our soul, no longer saying that someone outside of us has all of the reins anymore. We're pulling those reins back into creating our own reality, and it's our desired outcome. See, I at one stage, years ago, and I realized I was creating my own reality, I said, I want, what can I do? What do I want? I want to have UFO encounters. And then that started appearing in my reality. And so I had these UFO encounters. It wasn't to say that there was an underlining thread of interest of how what my mission was always going through, but I could choose what I wanted to bring in, benevolent beings, having an expanded awareness outside the normal box sort of thing. And so I did. I ended up in Illaroo with David Icke. I ended up meeting a Cherokee elder who talked to me telepathically. I ended up with beings from different planets in my room. I ended up with like UFOs outside that others in the town saw as well. There was just so much that I ended up with just because I asked to have these awarenesses. I asked to shift my reality into them. And you have that ability to, Joy. And so it's prepping you for bringing you into alignment with who you fully could be and grounded in this reality, not something that isn't grounded. Yeah. Anyway, thanks, Flower. I love you guys heaps, and I will be back next Thursday. Now, I've got I'm going away on a cruise in a couple of weeks. So next week, I'm going to be doing these readings, plus I will pre-record the readings for when I'm in a cruise, because I don't know if I'm going to have internet while I'm on the cruise. Yay! So, yeah, I'll be doing lots of work next week, so I'm not sure how much I'm going to be able to do within the movies and stuff that I put together. We'll see how that goes. But Monday is the class. So be there if you wish. It's easy to book in. Just go on the link down below, Codes to a New Reality. There's a little button there that says to click. Click on that. It'll take you to the booking place. Click on that. The calendar will come up. If it says that you can't get in, it's because it's on the wrong date. It's for the 6th of March. So there's a big button there saying next available date. Click on that and you can book. Yeah, heaps going to happen in that classroom. I can feel it now. It's just going to expand more and more. So I'm getting really excited about that class. Let's see where that one goes and what family we pull together to move through this awesome, expansive reality together. Love you guys heaps. Yeah, book on time too. I will try to open it up. I'll try to remember to open it up so you can book till the actual time. But there is, I think, 5 hours at the moment, because I have to be careful because it's the same booking as what my intuitive one-on-one counseling is. And if I'm out, I need to come back to do that. So I always have 5 hours buffer. But for the classroom, I'll see if I can change it just at the last minute so that you can book right up to the last minute. Love you guys heaps. Until next time, definitely Tuesday, doing another tarot channeling, messages and that sort of thing. But when I'm pre-recording while I'm on the cruise, that's just going to be a general reading, a really long general reading. And I'm looking forward to doing a long general reading. I think it's going to be a good thing with the cards. So see you till next time. Bye.